Emily stared at her reflection in the tiny cafe mirror, twisting her scarf nervously. Tonight was her Christmas blind date, something she'd reluctantly agreed to after months of friends insisting she try something new. The snow fell lightly outside, dusting the streets in a quiet, magical glow that did nothing to calm her nerves. Her date, Michael, arrived 10 minutes late, brushing snow from his coat as he offered a polite smile. "Sorry I'm late," he said, seating himself across from her. Emily forced a smile, trying to hide the anxiety knotting her stomach. The waiter approached, menus in hand, and they ordered quickly to avoid small talk. Conversation started awkwardly, Michael glancing at his phone while Emily sipped her coffee. She tried sharing stories of her job at the library, her love for baking, and her volunteer work at the local shelter, but he barely listened, nodding absent-mindedly. Emily felt her excitement vanish, replaced with a dull, sinking disappointment. The meal passed in uncomfortable silence, punctuated only by Michael's polite, and interesting every few minutes. Emily laughed softly at something she said, but it landed flat. When the waiter brought dessert, Michael glanced at his watch and said, "I think I have to go. It's been nice meeting you." Emily blinked, stunned. "Wait, that's it?" she asked, a small tremor in her voice. Michael smiled awkwardly, muttering, "You're great, but I don't think this is working." Before she could respond, he left, leaving her alone at the small table. Her chest ached, not just from the cold, but from the sting of rejection. She gathered her things slowly, feeling tears threatening to spill. Christmas lights twinkled outside, the joyful chaos of shoppers contrasting sharply with her own solitude. She decided to take a detour through the park on her way home, hoping the crisp winter air would help her clear her mind. Near the fountain, she noticed two little girls sitting on a bench, shivering in their thin coats. Their faces were streaked with tears, and Emily's heart immediately went out to them. "Hey," she said gently, kneeling down. "Are you okay? Do you need help?" The girls glanced at each other before speaking. "We're lost," one whispered, "and it's Christmas Eve." Emily's stomach tightened. She couldn't imagine the fear of being a child lost on such a magical night. She offered her mittened hand. "Don't worry, I'll help you find your parents," she promised, trying to sound confident even though she felt uncertain herself. The girls hesitated, then introduced themselves as Lily and Lila, twins. Their voices were small but filled with a hope that tugged at Emily's heart. She wrapped her scarf tighter around herself and theirs, guiding them slowly along the path, scanning the park for anyone looking worried or calling out for them. After a few minutes of searching, Emily noticed a small note clutched in Lily's hand. It had a phone number scribbled in childlike handwriting. "We tried calling, but our parents aren't picking up," Lily said, her lip trembling. Emily's heart clenched. These children were scared and alone, and she couldn't leave them like that. She took a deep breath and dialed the number. A harried voice answered almost immediately. "Hello? This is Mrs. Thompson. Are you my daughters?" Emily explained where they were and stayed with the girls, making them laugh and telling little stories about Christmas traditions, keeping their minds off fear. Minutes felt like hours, but finally, a car pulled up, headlights cutting through the dark. The girl's mother rushed out, wrapping them in her coat, tears of relief streaming down her face. Emily stepped back, smiling softly as the family hugged each other tightly. Lily and Lila's hands lingered on hers for a moment longer than necessary. "Thank you," Mrs. Thompson said, her voice shaky. "I don't know what we would have done without you." Emily nodded, brushing snow from her hair, but her attention remained on the twins. They looked up at her, eyes wide and hopeful. Lily whispered, "Will you be our mom?" Emily froze, a smile breaking across her face. "Oh, you're so sweet," she said, crouching down to their level. I can't be your mom, but I can promise to visit, bake cookies with you, and help whenever you need me." The girls' faces lit up, laughter bubbling through the chilly night air. The twins skipped to their mother, waving furiously. Emily watched as they disappeared into the car, feeling a warmth she hadn't expected. Her heart, still tender from earlier rejection, swelled with something new, a sense of purpose, connection, and the unexpected magic that Christmas always seemed to bring. Walking home through the softly falling snow, Emily thought about her evening. Michael's rejection no longer felt like failure. Instead, it had opened her heart to something far more meaningful: the simple, pure joy of helping others and forming a bond that didn't require romance to feel extraordinary. She reached her apartment and paused by the window, watching the park fade into darkness. She pulled out a notebook and began writing about her evening, about the little girls who had reminded her that sometimes the best moments come when you least expect them. She smiled, feeling lighter than she had in weeks. By the time she turned off the lights, Emily felt a quiet peace settle over her. She knew she would never forget Lily and Lila, or the way they had invited her into their lives so openly. That Christmas Eve, she realized that love and connection come in many forms, and sometimes the most unexpected encounters can leave the biggest mark. For the first time in a long while, Emily went to bed with a full heart. She may have been rejected on a blind date, but she had found something far more precious, a chance to make a difference in someone's life and be a part of a little family's Christmas miracle. And that, she thought, was more magical than any date could ever be.